Breaking news, people. Trippie Redd, the so-called emo rap Romeo, just got slapped with a life sentence after new evidence allegedly tied him to the cold-blooded murder of Tekashi 6ix9ine's girlfriend. Yeah, you heard me right. Not probation, not a fine. Life. Behind bars. Forever. Gone. Cancel your tour dates. My God, now. Let me ask you, is this the craziest plot twist in hip-hop history? Or just the universe finally cashing in its karma receipts? Because think about it. 1 minute Trippie is singing about love scars. The next minute the FBI is literally playing his diss tracks in a courtroom as evidence. Imagine standing trial while your own lyrics are basically Exhibit A, and 6ix9ine, the rainbow-haired snitch of the century, the dude who survived kidnappings, gang wars, and more assassination attempts than a Call of Duty lobby, somehow walks free again, while the guy who once called him a clown just got turned into the main attraction at Rikers. Coincidence or conspiracy? Stick around, because what I'm about to show you isn't just rap beef. This is betrayal, blood oaths, courtroom drama, and the kind of street justice Netflix wishes it could write. Let's get into it. Alright, let's set the stage, because before we talk about new evidence, life sentences, and courtroom drama, you need to understand who exactly we're dealing with here, and why this scandal feels like the most inevitable Netflix documentary ever. We're talking about Trippie Redd, the man, the myth, the perpetual heartbreak emoji come to life. A rapper who built his career on sad boy vibes, rainbow hair, and screaming into microphones like a possessed Care Bear. But behind the emo aesthetic and oversized chains, there's always been a darker undertone, one that fans ignored. Because, hey, the beats slap. Now, throw in 6ix9ine, aka Daniel Hernandez, aka the human skills bag, aka the only man alive who can go from federal witness protection to shooting music videos in Brooklyn like it's nothing. This is a guy who literally snitched on his entire gang, took the stand, pointed fingers like Oprah giving away cars, and still managed to trend on TikTok. You'd think after dodging 47 years in prison, Tekashi would keep his head down, right? Wrong. Because controversy is oxygen for this man, and that's where Trippie comes in. These two weren't just rivals, they were destined enemies. Once upon a time, they were collaborators, friends, brothers in SoundCloud clout, until betrayal kicked down the door. Remember the infamous Gummo beat? Yeah, the one Trippie was supposed to have? Tekashi swooped in, dropped a hit, and the world never looked back. From that moment on, Trippie wasn't just salty, he was practically marinating in rage. The beef escalated faster than a Twitter cancel trend. Trippie on IG lived talking about ending Tekashi. Diss tracks like I kill people, making murder sound like a casual weekend activity. And Tekashi, well, Tekashi retaliated the only way he knows how, by allegedly sending his 9 Trey goons to jump Trippie outside a hotel in 2017. That wasn't rap beef anymore. That was street war light. Now fast forward to 2025. Ariela Polano, 6ix9ine's girlfriend, is found executed in her car. Multiple shots, no witnesses, no robbery, just a clean, professional hit. And everyone instantly knew this wasn't random. It was personal. It was a message. The streets started whispering, if they can't touch Tekashi, they'll touch the ones closest to him. But here's the kicker. Trippie Redd had receipts, old interviews, old threats, lyrics that aged like expired milk. Prosecutors started digging, and suddenly, every bitter word Trippie ever spat about 6ix9ine looked less like rap bars, and more like an instruction manual for murder. And just when the hip-hop world thought this feud had cooled down, BOOM, the courtroom bombshell drops, new evidence linking Trippie's crew directly to Ariela's murder scene. Phone records, surveillance, alleged witnesses, the kind of stuff that makes jurors look around like, yeah, this ain't no coincidence. So now the big question isn't whether Trippie hated Tekashi. We already know he did. The question is, did that hatred cross the line into an actual murder plot? And according to prosecutors, the answer is yes. So let's talk about this so-called new evidence that just flipped Trippie Redd from a free man to a lifetime inmate. And let me warn you, this isn't your average tabloid gossip. This is the kind of investigative dirt that makes TMZ look like Sesame Street. According to anonymous law enforcement insiders, which, let's be honest, could just be a guy named Tony who works at Dunkin' Donuts, prosecutors uncovered surveillance footage showing a black SUV circling the very same Mount Vernon Highway exit where Ariela's body was found. Guess what? The license plate traced back to a rental company in Ohio. Guess who rented the car that same week? A man linked directly to Trippie's entourage. Coincidence? Or is this the rap version of Google Maps revenge? But wait, it gets juicier. Investigators also claim they seized encrypted phone records that show late-night calls between Trippie's manager and a burner phone pinging off towers just miles from the murder site. The prosecution called it a digital trail of breadcrumbs. Trippie's defense team called it fake news. The jury, they called it guilty. And because no scandal is complete without some absurd flexing, leaked financial statements allegedly show Trippie Redd spending $150,000 in cash just days before Ariela's murder. What for studio renovations? His lawyer says, right? Because nothing screams interior design like withdrawing 6 figures in unmarked bills. Anonymous sources claim some of that money was wired through shady shell companies, one hilariously named Love Scars LLC. You can't make this up, now let's sprinkle in the public reaction. Social media went feral the second this evidence hit the courtroom. Twitter timelines flooded with memes. Trippie's mugshot photoshopped into a Monopoly board with the caption "Go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $100. Instagram lives full of fans screaming free Trippie while secretly streaming 6ix9ine's music in the background. Even YouTube comment sections turned into FBI Reddit threads overnight, with users claiming they had exclusive leaks from inside the case, even though they were clearly typing from their mom's basement. And let's not forget the industry reaction. One anonymous rapper told us, "We all knew Trippie had anger issues, but none of us thought he'd actually cross the line. This is bigger than beef. This is self-destructs." Another insider joked, "This beef started over a beat and ended in a murder. Hip-hop has officially become a telenovela." Even politicians jumped in. Some senator from New York was quoted saying, "This case highlights the dangerous intersection of gang culture and the entertainment industry." Translation, we're about to use this for campaign clout. The fallout was immediate. Sponsors cut ties. Streaming services quietly pushed Trippie's songs down the algorithm. Even Fortnite, which once featured Trippie's music in a fan playlist, scrubbed his tracks faster than you can say guilty verdict. So let's put it all together. Surveillance, phone records, financial trails, public meltdowns. At this point, it didn't matter whether Trippie was innocent or not. The narrative had already locked him up, and in the court of public opinion, he was already serving life. But here's the kicker. If the evidence was this airtight, why are whispers still floating around that somebody bigger, somebody with more power, might actually be pulling the strings? So here's where things get even spicier. Because if you thought Trippie Redd's life sentence was the end of the story, oh no, my friend, this is just the messy friend. The courtroom may have slammed the gavel, but the streets, the industry, the fans, they're all writing their own endings. And trust me, none of them look good for Trippie. First off, the legal fallout. The district attorney's office is already talking about expanding the investigation into whether Trippie's label money was used to fund the hit. Yep, we've officially reached the money laundering subplot. Prosecutors hinted at possible RICO charges against people in Trippie's circle. Translation, if you so much as held his weed in 2019, you might want to call a lawyer. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. 6ix9ine, the man who somehow dodges consequences like he's got Game Shark cheat codes installed in real life. Tekashi wasted zero time hopping on Instagram Live, smirking into the camera, saying, "Told y'all boys, snitchies get riches, haters get stitches, free Ariela, man, rip, classy, right?" Nothing says morning like a clout-chasing live stream. Meanwhile, the hip-hop community is split right down the middle. Some rappers are screaming free Trippie as if life sentences are optional subscriptions you can just cancel. Others are cutting ties completely, terrified of being associated with a convicted felon. And the rest? They're dropping cryptic bars and songs, low-key using Trippie's downfall as free marketing. Because in rap, tragedy is just another sample pack. The fans are even messier. Outside the courthouse, protesters showed up with signs that read "Justice for Ariela," while Trippie sends blasted love scars from Bluetooth speakers. Twitter turned it into a reality show, trending hashtags like #TrippieTrial, #SnitchKarma, and my personal favorite, #LifeIsAMOOD. TikTok went nuclear, with creators reenacting the trial in green screen comedy skits. Nothing says serious legal Drama like a teenager lip-syncing Trippie's threats while doing the renegade dance. And don't even get me started on the financial consequences. Streaming numbers plummeted overnight. Trippie's tour was canceled faster than a Marvel flop. Merch sales, gone. Sponsors, vanished. Even his NFT project, remember that disaster? Tanked harder than crypto in 2022. Some analysts are already calling this the biggest financial cell phone in hip-hop history. But here's the real kicker. Conspiracy theories are spreading like wildfire. Some claim Trippie was just the fall guy, a convenient scapegoat, while bigger players hide in the shadows. Others whisper that the government wanted Tekashi alive, because he's basically an FBI asset at this point. And the wildest theory? That Arila's murder wasn't about rap beef at all. It was about silencing someone who knew too much. Netflix, are you taking notes at the end of the day? Trippie Redd went from Billboard charts to prison bars. From screaming love songs to screaming appeal my case at a judge. And no matter how many fans scream, loons, free Trippie. The only place he's going is a maximum security facility with Wi-Fi worse than McDonald's. And that, my friends, is how one of rap's pettiest beefs spiraled into one of the craziest courtroom tragedies of all time. So, here we are, people. Trippie Redd's career ends with a life sentence. 6ix9ine walks away once again, and the hip-hop world just got its messiest plot twist yet. But the real question is, do you think Trippie was truly the mastermind? Or just the perfect scapegoat? Was this justice, or just another chapter in the never-ending circus of rap beef? I want to hear your theories in the comments, because this story is far from over. Smash that like button, subscribe if you love the chaos, and stay tuned. The next bombshell is always one headline away.